What is supply-side economics, and how did it shape the 1980s? Imagine a time when the government decided to change the rules of the economic game to boost growth. That's what supply-side economics was all about during the 1980s. It was a new way of thinking about how to make the economy grow faster. Instead of focusing on boosting demand through government spending, supply-siders believed that helping producers and wealthy individuals create more goods and services was the key. The idea was simple: cut taxes on businesses and high-income earners, and they would have more money to invest, expand, and hire. This, in turn, would create more jobs and lift the entire economy. Supporters called this trickle-down economics because they thought that benefits from the wealthy would eventually reach everyone. For example, if a business owner saved money on taxes, they might buy new equipment or hire more workers. Those workers would then spend their wages, helping other businesses. The theory was developed by economists like Arthur Laffer and Norman Tour, who argued that high taxes discouraged work and investment. They believed that lowering taxes would make people more willing to work and invest because they'd keep more of what they earned. When Ronald Reagan ran for president in 1980, he made supply-side economics a central part of his campaign. Once in office, he pushed through the Economic Recovery Tax Act of 1981, which cut the top income tax rate from 70% to 50%. This was one of the biggest tax cuts in American history. Reagan also aimed to reduce government regulation and slow spending to fight inflation. During the 1980s, these policies became the main economic approach. Many pointed to the decade's economic growth as proof that supply-side economics worked. The economy expanded, and businesses invested more. But the results weren't all positive. The government's tax revenues fell sharply, and the federal deficit soared from around $40 billion in 1979 to over $220 billion by 1986. The huge budget deficits led to higher interest rates because the government borrowed a lot of money. This made it more expensive for private companies to borrow and invest. Surprisingly, the tax cuts didn't significantly increase work effort or savings. The expected boost in economic growth and productivity was less than what supply-side theory predicted. Instead, the large deficits crowded out private investment, and the economy didn't grow as fast as hoped. Despite these mixed results, supply-side economics changed the political scene. It marked a shift away from the Keynesian approach that had dominated since the end of World War II. Keynesian economics focused on government spending to manage the economy, but supply-siders believed that less government interference and lower taxes would unleash America's economic potential. This new way of thinking reflected broader attitudes of the 1980s, a time when many Americans grew frustrated with inflation and slow growth in the 1970s. They wanted a different approach, one that trusted free markets and believed that cutting taxes and deregulating industries would lead to prosperity. Even though the economic results were mixed, the ideas of supply-side economics became a defining feature of the decade. It influenced tax policies, deregulation efforts, and political debates about how much the government should intervene in the economy.